Hello everyone, today I'm going to be doing a video where I tell you all about my eye condition, challenges I face, and things I've overcome. This video is mainly from my own perspective, so keep in mind that not everyone with my eye condition or any other eye condition is going to handle or approach things the same way I do. I would also like to apologize for the very bad quality of my mic. My computer is currently perishing, and I actually cannot get in to adjust any audio settings, so my microphone, my speaker, everything is kind of fucked up and I can't fix it. So, with that out of the way, I think we're ready to begin. Oh, one more thing though. This video isn't going to contain any music or fancy editing, which I can't do anyway, because it's mainly for me, and if it helps someone else, great. But I think I'm ready to begin. I think I'll begin with telling you what my eye condition is. So, I was born with an eye condition known as optic nerve hypoplasia. Optic nerve hypoplasia, or ONH for short, is basically where my optic nerves didn't develop properly. I also have another eye condition called nystagmus, which is involuntary movement of the eye. Oh, your optic nerves, by the way, are responsible for sending signals to your brain as to what you're seeing. If you would like to know how drastic my eye condition is, a very lame way of explaining it is that if you can see something that's 800 feet away from you, I can see it from 20 feet away, while you can be 800 feet away, because my eye condition is 20/800. It's a very lame way of explaining it, but it might help you understand it a bit. So yeah, my eye condition acuity is 20/800, and yeah. Okay, now, I have tried to do this a couple times, and I'm trying to figure out what's relevant and what's not. I did a part of the video where I talk about growing up with this eye condition, but I realized I got too emotional for that and I don't feel comfortable sharing it, so I'm not going to include it here because I don't want this to come off like I'm doing anything for, sympathy. So I might share those stories one day, but maybe not now. I'm mainly going to focus on more recent things and just some things I struggle with that my friends might not even be aware of. Okay, the first thing I need to tell you is that I actually rely on my eyes a bit too much. I refused when I was younger to adapt to any assistive technology available to me. I didn't want to use my cane. I didn't want to use Braille. I didn't want to use anything. I wanted to, blend in with the other kids as much as I could. I wanted to rely on my eyes as much as I could. I didn't want to use any large print books. I didn't want to have anything enlarged for me. I wanted to use what everyone else was using. So that caused me a lot of eye pain because my eyes were straining so much, but it's also led me to where I am now, where I probably depend on my eyesight more than I should, but it's just what I prefer to do. I have accepted a lot of assistive technology because it has made my life a lot easier. The program I use for my computer is called Zoom Text. I love it, and I use just Zoom on my iPhone. I personally do not like computer voices, so any reading software, I know it helps a lot of other people. It's just not a me thing. Zoom Text actually has a speech and reader capability to it, but I just really use the magnification side because I don't know, I can't deal with computer voices reading to me. It's just not something I like. Alright, what else? I have gotten a bit better with my cane too. I'm not ashamed to use it, but I actually prefer to carry it in my hands. It gives me a lot of confidence, but I only really walk with it if I'm alone, which is hardly ever because I hate the outside world alone, and I only go somewhere if I'm with my family or my best friend Abby. But if I'm not alone, I like to carry my cane in my hands or in my bag. And I used to hate it. I would have to bring my cane to school, and I would just hide it in my book bag and just refuse to take it out or use it or do anything with it. But having it really does give me a lot of confidence, and I'm really happy I have it. The cane I have, I've had it for years now, and it never leaves my purse, really. I take it with me everywhere. I pull it out when I'm alone or if I'm with someone, and it just makes me feel a lot better to have it. I would like to move on to just a small topic. One I've been dealing with recently. People have been getting pretty frustrated with me because I don't respond quickly or I take long breaks in conversation. And I want you all to know I'm not purposefully ignoring anyone. It takes a lot of effort for me to read for extended periods of time. And if I take a while to respond, it's just because, first of all, I'm going through a lot right now. I know that's not an excuse, and I know that everyone has stuff they have to deal with, and that's fine, but I am going through a lot, and I don't think just because everyone has stuff they have to go through, I don't think my own personal problems should be swept away because of that excuse. So there's that, and also because my eyes hurt a lot. I have eye pain almost daily. I'm not going to get into why because it's personal, and I have a lot of, conditions I don't want to share, but I do have a lot of eye pain, and it's something I have to deal with almost every day. And if you see me on Switch and I'm not responding to you, I'm sorry, but sometimes if my eyes aren't hurting, I just want to relax and be in a voice call with my friends where I don't have to read anything and just use that time to play games or just relax or whatever I'm doing. I don't feel like I owe anyone anything, and I'm really sorry if that hurts anyone's feelings, but I can't be on my phone constantly and respond to everyone as quickly as I want to. I want to talk to my friends all day, and I want to be able to read things all day. I can't. I physically can't. And that's actually one of the reasons I ended up leaving Wattpad, which is a place I previously loved, but I started to run, and by the way, what I'm about to say, I'm not directing it at one specific person, because I know that person is going to be watching this video, and no, this is not aimed at you, so please just kindly leave me alone. I left Wattpad because I liked to read. When my eyes didn't hurt, I would like to read something, but because of things I'm not willing to share right now, my condition has gotten worse. There's some other things going on, but long story short, I can't read as much as I want to, and people don't want to accept that, and they come at me and they said, like, hey, it wasn't even they would ask me, it was read my story, and then they would send a link, and when I would try to explain I don't have time, or my eyes hurt, or I don't want to right now, I would get the whole, oh, I thought I was your friend, why aren't you supporting me? And it was just constant, and it felt like, honestly, people were starting to use me, which I know is dumb because I'm not anywhere big enough to be used, but it really was starting to feel toxic. So I'm on a break from Wattpad. I'm not going to get involved with any more petty people getting angry because I'm not reading their story. Or if I would read their story, they would get mad at me because I'm not publicly commenting. If I tried to explain to them that I can't read large amounts of text in short amounts of time, I would get the whole, oh, well, if you're blind, which I'm not, I'm visually impaired, there's a difference. I would get these messages of, if you're blind, how are you on your phone? How are you typing? First of all, there are so many amazing programs out there that help people with limited or no sight use technology. So maybe learn that before you come at me. And I'm not trying to come off as really mean here, but it is really hard whenever I'm online and people just accuse me of, first of all, faking my eye condition, which why would I? Or they hit me with these whole, like, if you're blind, how do you play Switch? How do you do this? How do you do that? Which I don't mind answering, but they do it in such a way where it's like, oh, well, if you can't read my story, how are you typing? Which it takes so much less effort for me to use, my phone to type a quick message explaining to you why I can't read than it would for me to sit down and spend half an hour reading through one chapter because I read extremely slow. I have to read one individual word at a time very slowly with my screen extremely zoomed in. So it's a very slow process. And if I'm having a good day and my eyes don't hurt as much, then I want to just relax. I will read stories when I have time. I'm sorry, I know I've gone on a Wattpad tangent, but I've been dealing with a lot of pressure from people on there lately, and it's driven me away from the platform. So, hopefully this video and what I explain will help people understand that a bit more. The next thing I would like to address is how I play games. If I'm playing games on my computer, sadly sometimes a lot of them aren't compatible with ZoomText, which sucks, but it happens. So it is a lot harder for me to play games on my computer. So I typically play games on my Switch because I use it on my TV and I have a pretty big screen, so it's just easier for me to see on there. And it's just what I prefer to do. So it's pretty simple of how I play games. I have a giant ass screen that I sit pretty much like directly in front of, which I know is bad for my eyes, but like my eyes are already bad and I need to do that to see. So that's how I play Switch, but it isn't easy. And I haven't wanted to say anything because I don't. Me and my friends, my close group of friends, all know about my eye condition. And we joke about it a lot. But sometimes it's really hard for me to play games with them. We've all been playing Pokemon Unite recently, and I'm stressed every time we play because I feel like if we lose, it's my fault. And I know sometimes it's not. But playing games where there are several people all moving around at once is really hard for me. And I lose track of which character's mine or who's on my team and who's not, and it's just hard. And I love playing with my friends, and I know they would never directly yell at me, but they don't have to because I yell at myself for getting things confused like that, which might seem harsh, but I do get frustrated with my own limitations. And it's just something I have to learn to deal with, that I can't see everything in the way I want to. And as much as I want to, I can't see as well as some other people. Moving topics again, this is something I wasn't sure if I wanted to talk about, but I feel like it's part of how I've grown and how I've gotten my independence with certain things, so I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to name names of who's responsible for these things, but I will say I have been forced into many things I didn't want to do because of my eye condition. That includes going to certain courses and going places I didn't want to go and learning things I didn't want to learn. And although I'm grateful for a lot of things I did learn, I absolutely despise some of the people who I've had to deal with because I felt like what I wanted no longer mattered. For example, I have my preferred settings for ZoomText. When ZoomText was first introduced to me, I wasn't allowed to use the full screen ZoomText. I was forced to use Zoom Window, which is like the small window where it just zooms in on that one section of your screen and you have to like move it around. I hated it. But I wasn't allowed to use full screen because the person teaching me knew better than me and knew what preferences I needed. I also had to deal with, when I went to a course for my eye condition, I was taught a lot of life skills, which I'm grateful for, and they did help me. But again, it felt like what I wanted and my own individuality didn't matter because these people knew better than me. They taught, I know how to make my bed. I make my bed in a certain way. They would make me make my own bed, like that I was staying in while I was there, in the way they wanted because they knew better than me. I had to make spaghetti in the way they wanted because they knew better than me. Anything I did, if it wasn't done in the way they wanted, it was wrong. And I felt like it took away a lot of my ability to make my own choices for a while, because I just kind of went along with whatever people told me was the right way to do things. And that's not the case now. If I feel like something is the way I want, I'll speak up about it, and I'll tell whoever it is, like, no, I'm sorry, I respect your opinion, but this is what I want. And that took a long time for me to get to. I will admit that. It took a long time for me to be more independent and tell people what I want. And there were some amazing people who helped me do that in regards to my eye condition. People I've worked with. And I'm not naming anyone, because some of them were great and I appreciate everything they taught me. But seriously, some of them were not great, and I will never change my mind on that. Okay, moving on again. I guess a small thing I would really like to bring up is that I really think Canada, which is where I live, needs more services in place to help people, especially adults with disabilities. Because although were a lot of programs open to me when I was in high school or when I was applying for college, those services went away if I wasn't a student. I use Zoom Text, and I love Zoom Text. But if anything happens to what I have, I'm essentially fucked, because Zoom Text costs, I think, like $800 or $85 a year, which a lot of people, including me, can't afford. And unless you're a student, well, perish, I guess, because you can't have it. And if there are other services open, please let me know in DMs on Twitter or something, because I would love to know. But we do really need more support for just adults who have not only visual impairments, but just in general, who need things for everyday use, but aren't students. Because I'm currently not a student, and I tried to reach out to the organization who helps me with my eye condition, and they can't give me anything. They can't give me Zoom Text, which I understand. I guess it's expensive. But that's what I'm saying. We need more support in place for people who need things like that. This video is a complete mess, and it's kind of all over the place, but I don't want to edit, I don't want to re-record, I just want to get my feelings out and just be done with this, because so many things have been weighing me down lately, and I haven't been telling anyone, and I think it's really starting to negatively affect me, and I don't want that. So, even though I'm not ready to share my childhood, or my family situation, or some of the extremely toxic people I've had to deal with because of my eye condition yet, I hope what I'm getting out now is at least going to help me some more, and I hope it helps other people understand my position a bit more. And I really don't want this to seem like I'm doing it for sympathy, because I'm not. This is mainly just to help myself feel better. And I know it's not well formatted and things might seem half said, but that's okay with me, because it's natural. It's what I want. It's my natural emotions and reactions to things. And that's what this video is for. It's just how I feel and how I've dealt with things. We're going to move to another topic that might seem very odd, and I'm not sure if I'll explain it well, but I hope you understand where I'm coming from. So, since I was little, and I was determined to do things without any help and not accept the services offered to me as a kid, so the cane, braille, keyboarding, that kind of thing, I made it a point that I would work really hard to accomplish things that people thought I never would. The problem, though, is because I did that, any accomplishment I made or anything I said, people would tell me, one day you will be an inspiration, or you are an inspiration, which is great, and I'm so thankful for that. But it also put so much pressure on me, even if it was just small things that I accomplished on my own. And if I accomplished something, I never got people telling me like, oh, you did good, or good job, or I'm proud of you. It was, you will be an inspiration one day, which made me feel like that what I just did or what I just accomplished didn't matter, which is great in a way because I had more to strive for and more goals I wanted to reach to prove to these people that I am an inspiration and I've done what they've expected of me. But it would have been nice to just have appreciation for how far I've come already. And yeah, encourage me to do more, and I will do more. But the way people have gone about it in my life has just made everything I've ever done feel completely just very small or underappreciated. Going back a bit, because I think I need to say this, I think maybe I was too harsh on Wattpad, because honestly, I did meet some amazing friends on there, and I'm so grateful for you all, but I can't deny that I've met some terrible people there. And I've met some terrible people on Twitter, and on Instagram, and Discord. But Wattpad is where I started making more friends, and it's where I wrote my books, and honestly, even though I still stand by what I said earlier, people were starting to take advantage of me and get very upset with me because I wasn't reading their stuff. Even despite all that, I'm so grateful for everything I've done on Wattpad. I met so many amazing friends. I got so much encouragement on the shitty stories I wrote back then, and it really meant a lot to me. Wattpad was there in a very dark point in my life, and I'll always be thankful for that. And honestly, I'm not done with Wattpad. I'll probably write some more on there soon when all of this stress is gone. So, please don't think I'm hating on every single person I've met on Wattpad. I am thankful for so many of you. But there are some of you that seriously need to just leave me alone. I'm really sorry if I've come off as emotional in this video. I am emotional. I had a very bad night and things happen. But I want you all to know that even though I've had a lot to deal with that I don't feel comfortable sharing yet, even though I don't want to tell people about it yet, it doesn't mean it didn't happen. And every bad thing that's happened to me, I'm still here. And it's all added together to make me a stronger person. And maybe I would change a few things, but for the most part, I don't think I would take away from any experience I've had. Even the people who had treated me terribly because of my eye condition, or who tried to take away the way I do things and make me do it their way, that helped me really set my own boundaries and say, this is what I want, this is what I know I need, deal with it. So, in a way, I'm thankful for them too. But I am very grateful for my eye condition because it is a part of me. It doesn't define me, but it is a part of me. And I'm really thankful for everything I've been through. I'm thankful for all of the services that are in place for me, even though, as I said, I think we need more for adults who aren't students, just so they can have some support. And I'm sure some exist, but we always need more. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So, even though I've had to deal with a lot, I'm so grateful for everything I've been through, and there's no cure for optic nerve hypoplasia. I can't fix my nystagmus, and I don't want to. I wouldn't change either of them. I would never, ever take away my eye condition. And I have an amazing group of friends and an amazing boyfriend who I've been with for a very long time. And honestly, Shane, Phil, Michaela, Droopy, Kat, and Spy. The 6 of you mean the world to me. You guys are the best friends I could ever want, and the best boyfriend, of course. And I couldn't imagine losing any of you. The 7 of us are going to be friends forever because we're all stuck with each other, and deal with it because you guys mean the world to me. And I know you're all watching this and it's going to make me severely uncomfortable, but seriously, I can't thank you all enough for everything you've helped me with. I know this video has been some negative experiences I've talked about, or some things I have to deal with, or limitations I have. But I really want to do a follow-up video to this where I talk about some of the positives that I got from my experiences. There's a lot of things I can't do. I can't drive, and there's a lot of careers that aren't open to me. And honestly, that's okay because it's things I've known for my entire life. Accepting those things took a bit longer. I refused to accept that I was limited in any way. And at times I still refuse to accept I'm limited until reality slaps me in the face. But I'll never learn because I want to push myself and I want to learn new things. And I really want to do a video where I talk about the positives of, what I've accomplished or what I hope to accomplish, and some more inspirational stuff instead of this emotional bullshit that I'm doing. But this video, it did need to be made because it does mean a lot to me. And I could make it and keep it private, but I really want to show my friends, and I want to show anyone else who's interested in watching. So, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to message me. My social media will be linked. Mainly my Twitter, since that's what I use. I'll also be linking a Discord server I have for small YouTubers, writers, streamers, that kind of thing. And I don't use my Instagram much, but I guess I can link that too. So, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it seemed very emotional. I hope it means something to someone, and I hope my boyfriend and my friends watching know how much they mean to me. I hope the toxic people who won't leave me alone realize that even though you want to message me these mean things, no matter what you say to me, I'm going to be okay because I have people that love me and I have my own strength. So even if people are mean, which I get it, the internet's full of mean people, but it's also full of amazing people. And I've found some of those amazing people, and I've found some of those toxic people. So, to the people who have been giving me absolute shit lately, fuck off, really, because you can never... I know this is going to sound so dramatic, but you can't ever stop me from trying to express myself and trying to learn new things and meet new people. So yeah, that's it. I would like to thank you all so much for watching. I think I'm going to end the video now before I get more emotional or more dramatic. This really did mean a lot to me. Thank you so much for listening. And I know I didn't explain myself too well, but I'm okay with how everything turned out. So thank you. Alright. Goodbye.